positions, and maybe FaZe needs to adapt. Maybe their edge style that they do in a Rankle cannot suit them well in Miramar, and then they need to pick up a different pace.
Need to see and change the pace. Team Liquid certainly have done that. They've picked themselves up the first chicken dinner of the day on Miramar. It's a map they are famed for and have an incredible win rate on it in the online tournaments. Of course, here in the offline environment, they're continuing on that trend. The question is, can they go the distance? Can they stop FaZe Sunday? It is a very central plane. No complaints from any teams really here. It is, I guess, a long drop to Montenuvo, but there's no problems there. They should be perfectly fine for the likes of FaZe over Al-Azhar. Should be fine. Everybody got to be happy with this plane. No complaints. The question is, where will the circle go? Will we see another wild west one? Or will we see an eastern swing this time?
I want to have a camp on Milita Circle. Lots of fun.
My personal favorites are like way up in the north, in that oasis.
The oasis area is actually really intriguing. And there's ridges, rocks, small little compounds everywhere, so you can actually have really good teams.
I'm hearing shots. I'm hearing early shots. Oh, it's Liquid.
It's Liquid shooting at Lions.
They've landed on the roof, so I guess they're taking shots on Lions early on. Here's Sangal. Of course, they've been dropping into San Martin. They got TeamGates near them, but they're just going to be floating on past. So it's really shooting the parachutes early on and seeing what you can get.
We can see the leaderboards here. It's actually so close. There's so few tournaments where you get to see this, where there's not one team in the lead and the others have to do catch-up. Everybody here can actually win, and it's extremely open for a lot of teams.
I mean, even if you were to look just down to, say, 6th place, Dignitas, it is, what, 250 between them? 250 points. It's 300 points for a win. So anyone in that top 6, I would say once you fall out of the top 6, you're going to start to struggle. M19 maybe, because they have been consistently staking themselves into those top 3 positions. They keep on doing it. Everybody else is going to have a big stand-up game. But Larson, there's 5 games to go today. That is a lot of points able to pick up. We'll see whether anyone can take, you know, maybe doing the incredible, get a double or a triple chicken dinner. You know, you secure yourself the win, no problem.
I expect Liquid to take up more chicken dinners, especially because we saw them turn out last game. And yesterday, they were on a big downslope. They had, I think it was 2 or 3 bad games in a row. When they get off to a good start, they come a lot more dangerous. When they start feeling confident and they trust their calls and they're like, yeah, let's do this. We're going to take some ground. We're going to take shots at everyone, and we're going to hit our shots. We saw Ibiza with the SLR. We saw James with the sniper. They were hitting shots upon shots. And I think they ended up with 14 kills.
And more importantly, they obviously lost Scoom relatively early on in a 3-1 split, but still, he made best of the situation, picked up, I believe, 2 kills, so got himself another 20 points, added on to what they'd already had from that, and gave all of the information of that buffer zone, because you could see at the time when Scoom was split, Samty had a clear vision on one another, and they knew exactly what was in between them, so it just gave them some perfect information. Whoo, look at that circle swing, okay. Here we go, way down in the southeast. This is going to make an interesting one because Larson, not only there's a lot of water in there, where Ghost are right now, all of the hills from Penta to Ghost is a big old cliff ridge. This is going to make a very interesting finish. Or, my favorite, we could go to Los Leones.
I would expect us to, for the first 2 strings, go a little bit towards the water. And then we're going to see these fights in the hills. There's barely any compounds, but there's a bunch of ridges, and you can kind of like slip your way in between teams and then just end up where you'll be surrounded by maybe 2 or 3 other teams. But
and I mean, just looking at Turtle's ridgeline right now, like anyone, if, say, for example, they had that giant aerial position, you can see way down into Puerto Payaso, everyone's sort of open season for DLR season, effectively, which, you know, Wookie Bookie and co, they'll be like licking their lips right now at this sort of setup.
One thing is not very welcome to is vehicles. So you'll see people actually dropping them as soon as they get over to those hills, and then you can try to make their way on foot.
And actually, you know, obviously we talked about the landmass. You consider the amount of water in now. I'd say that's about 40% water right now as the circle stands, which, again, nobody really wants to be in Los Leones in this circle. So now you're taking away probably 50% of the circle. Okay. You're looking at the ridge line. There's a couple of positions you don't want to be in, so maybe 60% of that circle is territory that teams just don't want to be in right now, or can't be in because of water. Where the heck do you go, Larson? Come on, come on. You're dropping in. You see this circle pop, circle 1. where the heck do you go? Because you know that Ghost are in Porto Pariaso. You know that Penta are down south. You know that Nova are up
personally, we land in San Martin, right? So we would drive to La Pentita, and then you just have to make your way. Maybe you drive a little bit deeper in, but then you have to leave your vehicles, and then you just have to run on foot and take as much content as possible. And in these early fights, you don't really want to take fights, so you just try to avoid people and try to get as deep as possible on foot. But when those hard hits hit you, you're in such a tough position. And if I knew a good answer to this, I would tell you, but it honestly just comes down to how much ground you can take early on foot and where the circle ends up actually going. Because there's no way of predicting, and there's no good way of keeping these vehicles, because you don't want to drive full speed across a hill, because you can't see what's ahead of you.
Because if you look at the circle right now, you can see it, right? You've got, Navi out there, so they're going to come in, obviously, west to east. Easy for them. SetDestroy from Commissary, no problem. But now you start looking at FaZe, Knights, TeamGates, Sangal, Dignitas. They all need to sort of squeeze into this northern area. There's not a lot of land. You've got the two big roads, which Liquid are heading in on right now. Other than that, it's actually quite flat north of Los Leones. That's quite an open territory. Anyone in Los Leones can actually have a clear vision on them if they say you were using the tower blocks, like Moonwolf could be.
When I see a circle like this, I'm happy I'm commentating and not playing. Because my team will be looking to me, hey, Larson, where do you think we should go? And I'll be like, I don't know.
I don't know.
How about we just we go here and then we take it nice and slow? I mean, there's not really anything we can do. We just have to hope for the best.
So this is interesting, right? So what Liquid are doing, obviously they've come from Picardo, and they're actually going right across. They know they don't want to be on that northwestern edge of the circle because there's so many teams that will be coming in, buffering on the back of you, and it's basically going to be a bloodbath somewhere around there. So they've gone for the very early rotate. We're still only 7 minutes in, and they're heading straight for the coastline, actually towards where Balok is.
Yeah, but this is a risk you can sometimes take because they land in Picardo and they can move early, but very few teams can do this, and Balok is actually leaving. But it's a big risk you have to take when you make these kind of rotations through a big road.
So Liquid, I'm just keeping my eye on their map position. We're seeing Dignitas here. You can see they've pulled up on the coastline and actually going to go for the sort of northern crossroads location. Penta, they were in position early on. M19 have come out of Los Leones, come south out of Los Leones, and that's where Penta are taking the shots out there. They have Chris nearby, once again from Lions, being that lead scout man for the Lions to try and find his position. He'd have been hearing the shots for Penta. There's Liquid. They've chosen this compound. They've left Samty to scout because obviously they're vulnerable from that northern ridge line, so they're making sure they keep that covered and gives himself all the cover they need. Everybody else slowly started to rotate. FaZe, they're on a big southern swing. Sangal here coming in 4x4s all the way. They've just taken a couple of shots from Dignitas. They've got Uncivil just ahead of them who may take some more shots. So Dig are trying to prepare a couple of shots. Here's FaZe Clan. They were taking the big southern swing way down Monte Nuevo towards Val del Mar and sort of cutting across south of Commissera. So they're choosing to go the same road that obviously Navi have taken way down the south coast.
I mean, I'm just looking at it, and it's actually okay once you get out on foot and you can start fighting, but it's just probably one of these scariest places to actually have vehicles and move around. You see Severus taking a few shots. He's alone.
Wildcard just starting to move out of El Azhar. It's going to be easy for them. They're just going to go straight down to Impala and sort of maybe sit on that. It's a big old hillside, isn't it, Impala, that's up that big slope that goes down. So probably sit towards the edge of that. Sangal, they're just trying to find a route through right now. It is pretty wild. They've actually ended up swinging further north. They didn't want to go through Minas Generales, and they've actually swung right around the edge of water treatment. Here's Wildcard. They're on the move. They're starting to head south. TeamGates, they're the only team. They're still in El Pozo. They have not even moved. The blue is pretty much on the back. So this is an interesting tactic. So it's almost going back to the old TSM tactic, right? They're looking at this circle, as we were saying. It is going to get very congested. And actually, most teams have looked at that and thought that north sort of western spot's going to be busy. So let's go in very late. Let's go right in on the edge.
Yeah. This is actually funny to see with TeamGates because on Arango they land in school, in the apartments, and they like to move very early. And then on Miramar they take a different approach. And I can see the reasoning behind it because here in Miramar you need those scopes to actually take these long-range fights.
The Knights and Dignitas trading blows. FaZe Clan continuing on. Cross-country for them. Oh, I think he just flipped it. No, he's still going. Axe said he's managed to hold it. He managed to hold it. stunt driver.
He got a scolding after yesterday, actually, because he managed to kill himself from driving from Mountain level to Picado without actually getting shot by the teams. So
and actually just wrecked himself in the vehicle. It's like, slow down.
They were like, Hexetti, you need to pay attention when you drive. This is not okay.
Speed kills, just like in real life. Got to slow it down going across those big hills. Dignitas, they've been taking a lot of shots, yet to still really get themselves in position. They're trying to catch anyone out, but as we can see, nobody went down in the early transitions. Knights, well, the shots you can hear in the distance, not really landing near him. He should be safe. Didn't even get touched there. Maybe his bike got tapped up. Wildcard, as expected, have to go on just south of him. Parla, so they're in there. Everybody else kind of tucking themselves in now. FaZe Clan still coming across. The Knights and Dignitas, the last to try and make their way down along with TeamGates. They're still in El Pozo. They haven't even moved yet. They're waiting for Circle 2.
I don't really want to comment that. I don't agree with it. So...
I mean, they're not. There's no way they've got lack of vehicles up there because El Pozo is huge and there's vehicles there's everywhere.
But when you move the slate, you just kind of concede a lot of options.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Nice.
Oh,
good shot onto Shaxi.
Gets down there. Yeah, that's finished off. There's no way he's getting safe from that. It's interesting. Oh, Penta also taking shots from Navi. Navi moving up on the hillside actually. Have got Udir down, but we were talking about obviously the northwest of Los Leones. Look at it, it's just empty. And Dignitas, who are coming in late, are actually going to have the freedom of the city.
That is something Dignitas does a lot in all of their games.
Down to obviously Erengel, they're always Saverni, right?
Yeah,
so they always have to do the same thing.
And they wait for the blue to come in. They always come in with the blue and then wait for the updated circle. And it's a tendency that not a lot of teams do. But yeah, they actually just wait for the blue and come in with them. We saw them around minus for a while trying to catch rotations, but then you're relying on it shifting hard north all the time. And it did certainly not go north.
That circle is a bitch. There's no doubt around it. That's got to be 50% water now, the circle. Now we know that by circle 4, it will pull away from this water, but this is a very rocky terrain area. Porto Pariaso, you can see Liquid already making their way down there. They're going to be looking at probably the northern compounds of Porto Pariaso, trying to get in as early as he can. Ghost, who start in Porto Pariaso, thinking probably got prime territory, but they're in a 2-2 split.
But
they
look
may
at how
get
many
run
people
over.
it's around them. This is going to be insane, actually, when we see all these teams start to clash.
Rotations early as possible. Penta, M19, trying to crash compounds, literally, as Elite player goes flying in and parks it perfectly. Totally meant it. Going to get a couple of shots on Batalan. Of course, M19, we know they're going to always have someone in the top 3. You know, it seems to work out for them. That's how it's been. They've creeped their way in there. Teams that are going to struggle right now, we're seeing Penta obviously blasting in. They're all fighting for compounds. Set to destroy Dignitas, TeamGates, and FaZe Clan, all well outside the circle. Knights getting themselves involved. They're coming in on the north. They're just creeping in behind Sangal and Vitality, who are very close to one another. It's really getting clustered in that southern circle. Ironically, Dignitas taking shots on Set to Destroy way outside the current white circle area. So all of these teams have to get in and around Los Leones. TeamGates still in the blue. They're going to be using a lot of meds out there. While it is only circle 1, it's going to tick after a while.
But look at how congested it is. Everybody's on top of each other, and that's what these mountains and ridges does. But as soon as you have to move, it's going to be very, very chaotic.
On Moonwolf, they have Nova to the north. They have Liquid to the east. They have Ghost to the south. Everybody is nearby on one another. Probably expect to see a couple of knocks coming soon. We've still only lost 2 players, hitting the 14-minute mark here. But it is going to be very congested. Wildcard chose to go into Porto Pariaso. Now, I was talking about the hill and ridge lines of that. Basically, all of the teams on that hillside will see Porto Pariaso.
But the way this works, when it goes away from water, you know you have your back clear. So sometimes it can actually work out. And then you don't have to worry about behind you, and you can just kind of focus on a straight line. But it's also really rough, because then you know you have to move. And all these teams that were in Porto Pariaso, they just move further in. So they got a little bit of a bigger buffer before they have to do anything. And it looks like they're trying to take a little bit more ground now.
Set to Destroy chose to go north of Los Leones, and Snakers actually is going to get TeamGates run over the back of him. But actually, the fact that he is delayed, probably flipped his vehicle, is actually going to help out. They're going to give him information that TeamGates are coming. So Set to Destroy could probably try and set a trap of their own on that northern situation south of Impala because they have the information. But the problem is the path they're taking may well run him into Knights. FaZe Clan have come into the circle now. Dignitas decided to go south of Lost the Owners. They're working their way in. As FaZe Clan, you can see set up in the compound. Navi nearby, of course, slipped out of those top 2 positions now with Knights and Liquid climbing the table after a great first and second place in game 1 of day 3 here in Stockholm for the Global Loot League Season 2. Who is going to take that giant trophy home with them? We have this map, 1 more on Miramar, and 3 on Erangel to complete the 3 days marathon of 18 games. It has been a fantastic format. All the players very much happy with how it's all played out. Question is, who will be the winner?
Good question. Did they spot? They spotted Andy. The rest of his team is a little bit away.
So close to finding that head, and Andy does finally get talk out in the back there. They pushed it, but Scoom gets knocked straight away. And this is the thing, right? Once you're on these hillside, there's a lot of third party that can go on. Scoom takes a big old hit from Loss, does manage to survive, hasn't bled out. They're trying to look to around the position. Andy, however, will get taken down, so Moonwolf will lose 1. EB picking up the first kill for Liquid of this game so far. Smoke's going to be down, and EB should be able to get Scoom up on his feet.
It is so dangerous to take these fights because you can't see who's going to shoot you. They can appear from anywhere, actually. And the circle once again goes towards Border Demon.
So, okay, let's take the knowledge that we have now. If you look at, say, Profi, that will be the center, I believe, of the next circle. Because it will pull away from water.
Yeah,
it could probably go maybe a little bit further south or north, but Ghost's position, actually, playing center where Profi is right now, is actually a very good one. If I were Ghost, I would maybe encalate and get a little closer to him. That's why we're seeing Knights now. They're actually going coastal. They're going right down to Porto Praya, so it will be inside it, because you've got to think the circle is going to go half again, and just think of the few positions that can go away from the water.
And because there's so much water, there's actually going to be a tiny bit of water still in, so you kind of know that Porto Payaso and some of the beach is still going to be in.
And it does offer them a decent amount of combat. Let's hope we finish in that location on your screens right there. I do love an urban environment finish. The camera guy is probably not so much, because it's quite hard to follow when you get into that position.
Look at that.
Oh, Ghost just got annihilated. That is not what they planned. Remember, Profi was on his own, and it's a good job because the rest of his team have been wiped out by Moonwolf from coming above. And this is the problem. The rotations, once everybody starts to close down that hill, you can just get tripped over by teams after teams.
They did exactly what you wanted, but got caught off guard.
Oh, he gets the door shut. Is it going to be enough? Samti's been knocked as well. Moonwolf continuing to push down. Profi caught in his little shack as Moonwolf. Remember, they lost Andy Pyro. They're still down to 3, but they move into the garage and they're just trying to clear room by room.
But if Profi moves down, he's going to almost run straight into Wildcard.
He's got nowhere to go. He's stuck in that shack. O'Connell has him pretty much dead to rights. And like you say,
look at Wildcard. They're coming up. They have seen him. I think.
They're cooking the nade. Yeah, they absolutely heard it. That's going to go through the window. Oh, he goes on the side. No! Oh, Profi, why? And Ghost, who did so well so far throughout the tournament, will go out 16th place on this, the second map of the day. And that's going to really hurt in more ways than one. Wookie Bookie, what a surprise.
He gets M24 with it 8 times again. How is this a thing?
There's a script that he runs. He's like, just goes into Miramar. I'll have a, what should we go? It's just choices.
I feel like it's every game he has a sniper demon.
M24. Oh, should I get a crate today in AWM? It's just got his choice of weapons. And he's got suppressor as well. It's like the dream right there, right? So, Navi actually chose to go down on the coast. FaZe Clan actually moved up. So Navi left the compound they were in, and FaZe Clan moved into it. So a bit of a transaction of deeds there. Penta are above them right now. Dignitas above them, very close by. There we are. This is where the DMRs really come into action, right? Just in this tight, close range. Lots of 300, 400 meter shots.
It's the perfect position to have the DMRs. The SKS, I feel like it's most powerful from like 100 to 300 meters because it has a lot of bullet drop. The travel time is a little bit slow. But when you get into its like effective range, it's very scary.
Let's have a look in the north. You can see TeamGates. They're actually coming in. Vitality and Nova completely lighting them up, but we see FaZe Clan. They're on the storm. They're going up the hillside. Wookie Bookie suddenly realizes there's someone coming up behind him. Adams actually tucked in that nade that he's got in his hand. Could actually prove out vital. Jempty took a big old hit. I'm going to guess that's from Wookie Bookie's M24, which has caused FaZe Clan to actually back away. They forced the red zone to come down on their heads, and they've got to get back in the house.
And I like what FaZe is doing. They're trying to be more proactive. When you know you have other teams near you, they hear them shooting, you want to go up, you want to see if you can kill just one or two of them. You don't want to commit to the fight necessarily. And as soon as they got spotted, they disengaged.
That's the circle we expected, right?
Didn't you say that where Moonwolf is right now is going to be straight in the center?
Well, I mean, I said it's going to be there or thereabouts.
It is.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Where poor old Profi was stood and the rest of Ghost, but it didn't work out for them. TeamGates still in the blue. I mean, I don't know how many meds they've got right now, but they've been in the blue the entire game. So I know they were in El Pozo for a very long time, but at this point, now Phase 4's cut in. That is going to start hurting seriously, and they have to. Well, I mean, they can't push in, right? Because they got
There's
Nova,
nothing they can do.
Vitality.
They're just too late. As I told you earlier, it's like you concede way too much ground when you wait too long to go in. It doesn't matter how much information you get trying to get into the zone; it just won't be possible.
Well, with the circle shift, it does mean that Dignitas, FaZe Clan, once again pushing on the backs of Na'Vi. It could be a juicy battle if that one plays out. TeamGates, of course, we're still seeing here, being very much kept out of the circle. You could say they are being gate-kept by Vitality and Nova. Sangal also outside the circle. Liquid, they have still got some pretty nice territory in this game. They've actually got a pretty wide spread as well. But Vitality here finding the kills, and they're much-needed kills for these teams. Remember, they're actually pretty much battling for position. Vitality has not been a great tournament for them, so to wipe out a team here, they'll be very happy.
Definitely. But you talked about Liquid. They're really spread up, and their territory they have is actually really hard to defend.
They're hearing the shots from Nova. Yeah, exactly. They're hearing the shots from Nova, and they're moving on them. And they're actually going to find themselves a bunch of free kills here. Scoom tapping away. Ibby picking just up kill after kill, and this is perfect. So they've been sat watching this battle play out, and just thought, right, third party time. Ibby, oh, Samti's been knocked. And that's Sangal. Sangal are moving on them, so that's actually a battle for position. That's nade coming down, could be vital. It forces them to stay away from Samti, so almost shifting them away with the grenades.
This is something we see Liquid do a little bit too much. They try to take too much ground, and Samti got caught off alone. They were all taking shots at Nova, and we could see, of course, that Sangal have decided not doing anything, but they strike, and they now make their way into the zone.
They've gone around the side. That is Samti down. Sangal finished that kill off. So Liquid down to 3 now. Batalan also finished Chris off. That was pretty much central point. And now we see James go down. Sangal catching Liquid off guard while they tried to trade and got aggressive and greedy maybe on Nova. It's cost them. Sangal, though, getting third party as you would expect here. And in the end, it's going to be Ibiza that gets his 5th kill of the game with 45 alive. They're going to get James back up.
That's very fortunate that Sangal kept running and they got caught off guard.
Could it come around to bite them? Look at Nova. They're coming back in behind Team Liquid. FaZe Clan still not in the circle, by the way. M24 and 249 crate there. FaZe Clan just edging in. Na'Vi, of course, on the hillside. Dignitas, M19, all very close to one another. You know, once you start having a battle in this 4th circle, everybody's looking your way.
But Liquid, they did take a lot of ground. But we saw they lost something and almost lost teams because you can't really defend it all. But at the same time, they did scare away a lot of teams and had the freedom to move down to the house and maybe even loot the sad drop. But at the cost of losing one player.
Vitality dealt with TeamGates. They went out in and around 14th position. Kramer knocked by Survivor. That down in Porto Pariaso, actually near the roadside battle that's kind of going on between the houses as we see Jazza trying to get the last 2 remaining members, Loss and Purdy of Nova, down to the south of them. The circle shrinks and it goes right onto the crossroads where Moonwolf are sitting pretty. They've only got 3 in there, but they forced Ghost out of their location. Ghost right now could be in a great spot, but they were pressured and pushed early on. And look at this, Na'Vi trying to get across the road and straight into the hands of FaZe Clan.
Yeah, Na'Vi losing 2 here. And also, how many have Nice lost by now? They've been trading off with both Wildcard and SetToDestroyX down in Porto Palolo. I don't know the name.
Palolo?
No, I can see like the PL and then look like another.
Oh, that nade. Oh, look at that on top. Beautiful. Gets Shade down, and now Pokemolodoy, the last man standing for Na'Vi. Na'Vi, remember, in 4th place in points. Going to be pressured.
Neck to neck with FaZe. They would love to finish this. I want to see them almost push aggressive down to try and finish them up.
Yeah, they're pushing, they're going, but remember they need to get in the circle. M19 actually coming on the back of Moonwolf into that garage location. But if FaZe have got to be careful, because obviously the shots they're taking is going to draw the attention of Dignitas, who are again higher up the hill again, so they can then look down upon them. It is a really scary layer cake situation that you find yourself here at Porto Pariaso.
It's so dangerous to play Miramar. Like, you can't always defend off all the angles, and sometimes you need to take fights. And then the teams that are lurking, just like you explained, is going to run up. And as we can see from above, they're so close to each other. And all these teams are just waiting for the opportunity to go in.
Oh, that's FaZe Clan finishing off Navi. So Pokemon goes down.
He actually rests Uber. Uber is still alive down by the beach.
Oh, yeah. He's actually, he's just down the south. Oh, well, they're down on their own. FaZe are pushing onto the same garage location that Moonwolf are in. Wildcard are coming up as well. This is going to be a four-way battle on Moonwolf's location. Sharpshot might be able to get himself a decent amount of third party in here, but it's Moonwolf that are in all sorts of trouble. FaZe Clan on the back door. M19, they may actually end up taking each other out. Wildcard looking towards Knights because that battle is continuing to trade within Porto Pariaso.
Moonwolf, they're not even moving.
Getting around the side, Mexi sees M19 and Moonwolf going to be hearing these shots and thinking they're very close. They're very close. They're on top of us, boys.
Fire.
Here they come. They're coming through the door, and now FaZe Clan in all sorts of trouble. They've come straight into the trap. They got caught out. Well, left, right, center. Mexi goes down. He gets one of Moonwolf, but Edokos deals with Mexi. They've also lost Gemty in the process of FaZe Clan already backing away from this one. Fuzzface and Haxetti, but they've got to be careful because Uber is coming up the road behind them.
But there's no way for FaZe to know this on the rugs. And Moonwolf, they were just sitting in a corner not making any noise.
And that's just timing, right? Because they came in, they shot M19, right? Okay, M19 are in here, push. And then they're like,
so unfortunate, so unfortunate.
Oh, the timing, and that's just it, right? They're so tight to each other. Now look at Dignitas.
That's running into Uber.
He's basically going to run straight onto Uber. Uber takes him out. That's Penta going down in 12th place. Dignitas continue to move down the hillside. They've got nowhere else to go other than go straight into this cluster of action that will be happening on the edge of Porto Pariaso. Liquid right now, they're keeping Nova out. Vitality are trying to decide where to go. Navi will go down in 11th place. And Larson, I mean, we were talking about where do you go earlier on. Where the heck do you go in this situation?
I mean, Navi actually, if you see the third one on the map, there's really good bridges around that spot. Dignitas, they have to push into M19, Moonwolf, and FaZe.
Axetti and Batalan on the roof. Sees Axetti. He's got himself the aerial advantage, and he will, in the end, knock each other out. Fuzzface saving the day there, and Vitality stealing the kill. So now they are looking at the action in the garage situation. But Fuzzface, he's got to be careful. He's got to try and push on this. The nades are coming out. They are from God knows who. It could be Wildcard, M19 move. I don't know who's throwing the bloody nades right now because everyone wants to get involved in this. Dignitas, they're about to drop down on the road directly behind Fuzzface.
This is, I mean, Fuzz smoked a lot, but this is going to be so scary. Look at Vitality. They're actually pushing down on the gas station now.
Wookie actually looking and then getting tagged. Gustav, where's he coming from? It's Wildcard. Kickstart's taking the shots, and he's not. Gustav saving FaZe Clan right now as they try and get involved. Now Vitality taking shots onto Dignitas. It's a crossfire of multiple dimensions and angles as they just get pressed from every position.
Man, have you ever seen so many people around the same area before?
28 alive here in Circle 6 as it continues to shrink. They have to move. They have to go. Fuzzface gets knocked.
Vitality
got revived, but it's Vitality tossing one down from up on high. He gets Example down. They were looking at Dignitas. They were like, wait, what? FaZe? We've just took FaZe. Now M19? What is going on in this area? There is so many teams around this gas station.
It's ridiculous. We saw Liquid, they finish off Nova to the side. So Liquid are alone on the hill. But we have, is it 5 teams now with Dignitas and FaZe and Vitality at the gas station?
Dignitas, Moonwolf, M19, Vitality, FaZe Clan, all within
these teams don't even know how many teams that are there.
Oh, compound. Wildcard tried to push across. Fuzzface gets finished off. Haxetti, the last man standing for FaZe Clan. It could be another 8th night finish for them. Now, look at this. Jazza drops down, but suddenly 3 members of Dignitas come around the corner. It's like M19 and FaZe Clan all over again as they trade blows. Moonwolf, meanwhile, continue to just sit inside the garage and think, what is going on? It's a war zone outside. Constantine will be taken down. Adam pops up, gets a little glimpse of Shadow's head, but he can't quite manage to find it. He tries to duck down, but he's too late. The Frenchman will find his dome as he then has to back up and try and revive his compatriots.
This is bonkers. I've actually never seen anything like this before, and I love it. I want to see teams like Moonwolf that are 3 men strong. They see teams are getting knocked left, right, and center. They need to be proactive and actually do something of this.
We should mention, by the way, while that was happening, oh, Hack said he's found Wookie Bookie.
He was in a dumpster.
That was the last member of Dignitas.
Managed to share the same dumpster with him.
Dignitas go down in 9th. Liquid, by the way, took out Nova at some point during all that craziness. Now look at this. Everybody here has to move.
Vitality is actually still 4 men strong. They killed one from FaZe. They killed off most of Dignitas. They took 3 from M19. And they managed to have all 4 alive.
There's still 4 teams in there.
There's
still 4 teams in that compound. Vitality, M19, Moonwolf. Ibby gets knocked. That's a Wildcard, actually. Wildcard, by the way, I should mention, have the compound. Vitality storm it, but now they're storming into who? They're going to M19. They get M19 down, so M19 are out in 8th position. And they're just thinking, how many teams are going to keep on pushing? Because now they've just took 1 down, and they've got an insta-kill, so they're like, oh, that squad's wiped. The garage is clean.
Oh, no, there's 4 more people. But Moonwolf, they haven't moved at all. They haven't even taken a single shot.
So while that's all happening, we should talk about who actually could win this game. Oh, what a nade from Kickstart. Bounces off the back wall and catches Ibby once again as he gets knocked. Scooms in the house, should be able to get revived. Jesus is going to get across. Back to the garage, back to the action. Monkey tries to push him. Jazza comes in. Vitality wiped by Moonwolf. 7th place for them. The carnage continues at the gas station. And now it's just Haxetti lying in the dumpster with Moonwolf nearby. Haxetti pops up, he sees O'Connell. Now he's realized he's going to get a flank around, tries to get caught jumping. He will go down in 6th place. Now, who is in a big chance to win this? Wildcard, of course. They have this compound and it's prime real estate.
We have 4 from Wildcard, 3 from Liquid, and I think 1 from Knights.
Oh, Scoom knocked. Tumai once again. He's doing so much damage to keep Liquid out of this. They're going to revive again. But Ibby and Scoom have revived each other so many times they're going to be bleeding out so hard. Remember, James is above them. Set to destroy in the end, getting the shots up the hill. And Moonwolf pushing over the road.
Moonwolf is going to run right into James if they keep on going. Everybody's shooting at each other. But this road is not going to be in the next zone. It's probably going to go down towards the city, or is it?
It's got it, right?
Crossing this street is going to be really hard getting down on it. So
James is hearing these nades coming in. Is it Wildcard's throwing the nades? I think it might be O'Connell. O'Connell's going looking for him.
But he's going alone.
SetToDestroyX just watching this all play out, sitting on the edge there. As you say, he is going alone. He's trying to creep through the smoke and keep it as close as he can. The circle moves on. It kind of goes on Wildcard's compound, sort of slice of it, and everybody else has to move. Now there's a shack that SetToDestroy could try and sneak in. Maybe Drayden will sneak in there because the Knight's in there. And remember, it's the Knight's in first and Liquid in second. Ibby gets bled out there.
He got knocked by the play zone and finished by it, so he moved way too late.
Too slow as the zone moves, and it's right on the edge there. Scoom, James both need to move. James holding this angle. O'Connell crawling towards him. He sees him, going to take him down, and as you mentioned, Moonwolf was on his own. Should finish off that kill, but no, he has to finish it. Try and finish it off, James. He's got to get the 10 points for his team. It's absolutely crucial at this time. Drops down, gets himself the scope out, gets Edokos down, and Wildcard are going to move on that. They're coming around the side here. Washout's all alone, and here comes Tumai up the top there. He's going to get himself 10 points. Can he get more? No. Moonwolf, Washout gets him down. In the end, Sharp Shot comes in, but it's James that will finish the kill.
Need to move on this. Everybody's knocked.
They moved out the compound. They've let Snakers move in. SetToDestroy going to squeeze in. Liquid. James is not going to get revived. Scoom's going to be the last man. Drayden's going for it. He's going to try and make a mad dash in there. So Wildcard, while they made the move to try and clean out Moonwolf, it's cost them a location.
SetToDestroy have to be way more proactive when they see 3 guys get knocked and they hear the shots.
They're going to see Drayden, surely. SetToDestroy, Figinaldo looking across. Those shots are going to draw the attention of Kickstart. He gets across. He manages to see the grenade action going on there, but doesn't manage to get himself the kill. It's easy in the end. Shoots Figinaldo in the back. There's a burning fire going on to Drayden. That's going to be the Knights down in 4th place. Liquid here looking like they might well be able to get 2nd place here because SetToDestroy and Kickstart Wildcard are going to try and explode themselves. The nade. It's on the back of Sharp Shot. Takes him down. Meanwhile, Sharp Shot threw his own one that finished off Figinaldo as the nade battle continues and Scoom just watches. Could he do what Fuzzface did?
I mean, he obviously must have not been intentional because there's 2 knock from Wildcard. There's 1 knock from SetToDestroyX. knowing that there's only 2 up, and he's still just playing it from the backseat.
He's thinking he's got to be thinking that's going to be bleeding out a lot here.
True, but
see him. That's 10 points. That's 10 points. Now, do you go for it? Do you go for positions? Now, obviously, looking position. Third place is 200 points. Second place is 240 points. He's got to let it bleed out. It's good discipline there from Scoom. The gamble, will it work? Surviving out on his own. Kickstart and Tumai on their own. It's a 2v1v1 situation, Larson. And the star, of course, is going to drop straight in the middle. Who's in the best spot? I think actually Scoom's got a really good location for this.
I mean, it depends who has to shoot first. If Survivor manages to take down 1 or 2 from Outcome, Scoom is probably going to win this game.
Now, Wildcard know that Liquid are over there. They know that Scoom's over there somewhere because obviously they've knocked him a number of times. Scoom's going to go for the peak. He's going to try and get the shot down, gets himself one, peeks back down. Now that gives Survivor a chance. The Geordie's going to try and take a little peek at the action. Scoom drops back down low. Kickstart's trying to go for the revive. If Survivor goes aggressive, it could work out well for him here. Scoom sees him, tries to get the shot down. Scoom can't land it. It's going to go down. Survivor will do the job there. And SetToDestroy could take themselves victory if he went aggressive enough, but instead the revive comes in, and now Kickstart and Tumai are in a 2v1.
Even, bro.
There we go. Chicken dinner, Wildcard. We talked about them on day 1. They had a great day. On day 2, it was one to forget, no doubt about it. They went down from around about 4th or 5th to 10th or 12th. It was a disaster, but they get themselves back on the chicken dinner.